Okay, good afternoon, everybody who's just joined. My name's Arun Wadvani from the Ingram Micro Cloud Sales Team. Welcome to today's webinar, which is launching our very exciting new offering to market for our partners, which is called the Ingram Micro Cloud Azure Accelerate. What is the Azure Accelerate? It's a new program that we're launching now to enable our partners to be able to get across the breadth of offering around our infrastructure as a service offerings, or IaaS, and really help you to accelerate your time to market and return revenue to your business in the quickest possible way to help you grow and be successful with Ingram Micro. Okay, so what are we actually launching? So really, it's a program that helps you through the whole life cycle around your Azure journey. So whether you've been with Ingram for some time now, and you've been already working with your customers, and you spun up some services around Azure, this is an opportunity for you to also, in that more mature part of your business, to extend that and take that to the next level. But it's also an opportunity for partners that have not yet taken that leap into the world of infrastructure as a service, and how we can help you to do that. So this is a comprehensive offering. It's a full end-to-end solution that includes offerings around demand generation, lifecycle services, gives you advanced pricing, preferential pricing, helps you around skills enablement within your practice to build your competencies, and also helps give you, when you reach our elite status, or essentially the top tier, how you then get elite partner treatment. And I'll go into each of those areas in a bit more detail through this webinar. So just to take you through from the very beginning, the whole offering is really on how we're going to help you to build up your capabilities and competencies around the Azure Accelerate offering to market. So it includes areas such as customer demand generation, lifecycle services, preferential pricing, Competency Build, and then I mentioned about the elite treatment. Each of those areas of investment that we've made to help give you a more comprehensive offering. And when you take up each of those offerings that we have available to you, by combining those in a structured way that fits within your business in the timeframes that you need to perhaps take those on, once you start realizing the value that each of those offerings can have, that can very quickly help build your competency and help you to build a very successful Azure practice working with Ingram Micro. So we basically have separated our partner tiers into 3 tiers. So we're really looking for partners in our fundamentals category. These are really partners that want to sort of start their journey. They may not have made large investments around understanding the Azure journey, but they want to sort of now start that journey. Or perhaps they've stepped their toe into the water and they've started that journey in some respects, but they now want to go to the next level. So we've actually got 2 categories of fundamentals, really for customers on from 0 to 5,000 US. This is your monthly spend. We then have fundamentals, which is 5,000 to 10,000 per month. The next tier from there goes to the develop area. And ultimately, as I mentioned about the elite treatment, the elite being the top tier. So each of these areas have different offerings to market to help you. And we'd really like to get as many of our partners over the next 12 months getting into that elite category and realizing the benefits and values that you have by working with Ingram Micro once you've made that investment and you've come on that journey with us. So just to break that down to a little bit more detail, we put together a table for you to understand what we have to offer there. So when you come in on the journey with us, we do help you with offerings like a digital campaign and strategic playbook to help you to understand how to find opportunities, not only in your existing install bases, but also when you want to prospect to new customers. So we can help you to build that out. We will help you around accessing things like partner success stories. We'll help you to build out your clients and help build success with success working with your customers. We will help you in areas such as list curation. Again, these are more focused around the elite program when you get into that tier, but that's not to say you can't take advantage of some of the functionality that we'll offer you as you go through that build phase from the fundamentals, develop, and ultimately into that elite category. Once you actually start taking advantage of the other areas, for example, Lifecycle Services, we will help you around discovery assessments, architecture, design, proof of concept, and migrations. And we will give you, when you join the program under fundamentals, access to that team of people under our Center of Excellence for Asia Pacific, based mainly out of India, and we'll give you access to those resources. Once you then make those investments and move into the next tier of fundamentals, we'll get access to those lifecycle services, but with a discount level to help support you through those migration services and other offerings to build up that capability. That discount level will actually then grow as you move from that fundamentals tier into the next tier, which is develop, and we will increase the discount and the investment as you move into that elite category. With the preferential pricing, we will offer you access to promotions, exclusive promos. So for example, you may have already been familiar with our $2,000 cashback promo. That will continue. You certainly don't lose out there. We will continue to make those investments. But also as you grow, we will then offer you volume discounts. So for example, with fundamentals, we will offer you an additional 1% volume discount in that $5,000 to $10,000 category. And that then, as you grow, we will increase that from 1% to a 2% volume discount. And that will grow again when you move into the elite tier up to a 3% volume discount. So it's very clear then which partners obviously will get the advantage of those offerings. Just bear with me. And be able to take advantage of those offerings. From there also, we talked about Competency Build. So we will make investments for you around how you'll build your technical and sales competency around Azure. And to help you to do that and build up those skills, we will offer you credits for your certification. So you would normally just pay for any certifications you go through the Azure program, which are the Microsoft certifications. Upon completion of those certifications, we will give you, under the fundamentals 5 to 10 category, up to a $200 credit towards that certification. And again, once you move to the next tier, that then builds to $300. And if you get to the elite, we will then give you up to $500 of credit. So it's a great reason to go and invest in your technical resources as well as sales. Go through the online courses, take advantage of the Microsoft program, and we will help with subsidize some of those costs for you, obviously to get those certifications and build those capabilities within your Azure practice. Also under the Elite Partner Treatment Program, you will get access to our team Ingram Micro and Cloud. We now have invested, and we have a new team to support the existing Cloud sales team who are focused and dedicated to the Azure practice. We've got now Gaurav Tandon, who's recently joined us based in Sydney. He's our sales technical lead, so to speak. You will also be, some of you familiar with Deep, who's our solution architect. We've also got an internal account manager, which is John, all of which are dedicated resources to work with the existing Cloud sales team to help you to go through the journey, understand the areas that we need to help you, and get you on your journey going through the various categories that I've just covered. So you've got access to our resources. We will also help you around going to our major event for the year, which is Cloud Summit, which is running in San Diego in March 2019. And we will give you up to a $100 credit to fund some of your costs for one person to attend that event. If you're in that 0 to 5 category, and also if you're in that 0 to 5 as well, in that fundamentals bucket. If you're in the next tier up and develop, that actually increases to up to $200. And very quickly, once you get to the elite, we will actually potentially fund $300 of your costs, and we will actually have a competition where we'll fully fund up to 2 places for Cloud Summit for the prize winners there. So you can see there's great investments to be made, there's great opportunities. All of this is over and above the standard margins that you make on the Azure program with Ingram Micro. This is all incremental, and it can actually be then quite a profitable business for you by making these investments. So how do you start? Where do you go on the journey? How do you start on the Azure Accelerate? Well, you go into the site here. You just need to sign in. So it's Microsoft ingrammicro.com/Azure where you'll be able to go in there and request access to the program. Normally, you'll receive an email back from us within a day or so, just confirming acceptance into the program. And we will then engage with you from there to sit down with you, either one of the cloud sales team or one of the specialists I mentioned earlier will then make contact with you, set a time, and we'll start working out where you want to start on your journey, how we want to look at particular building a core competency in certain areas, and how we help move you through those different tiers I've just covered. Okay, so it's all about demand gen. We've identified as part of the program, we absolutely need to help you to find opportunities and to help build those out. So what we've now done is we've built basically competency kits around marketing to help you to go and take those to market. I mentioned we have digital campaign kits and strategic playbooks. Basically, you have access to those campaign kits as soon as you start the journey when you join the fundamentals. We will also help you when you move to that develop category to access to our journey to the cloud playbook, which we'll be launching over the next month or so. That will be released very shortly. We will also give you access to case studies under that develop category. And also as part of that, we'll be working with you around case studies, building video testimonials with you and your customers. And also as part of that lead pass program, we will actually be running our own campaigns. And for those partners that have made the investments to get to the elite category, we'll even actually be passing you curation of lists of qualified leads that really want to then work with you to help build up that solution and also help you to close business. So we're looking to make those investments with you. If you invest with us, we will then invest with you back to feed you back leads when you get into that sort of top tier in that elite category. Campaign kits. So what does a campaign kit actually look like? So that's actually quite a comprehensive offering. It can help you obviously to sell the messaging around the Azure solution and the area of the solution that you want to take to market. It can help lift your profile, your brand in social networks. We can help you around social banners. We can help build our email templates, pitch decks, selling guides, and so much more. And we even work with specialist agencies for our top tier partners. They can help build those offerings to you, and they can be quite tailored. And by helping you to elevate your, I guess, social media presence, that potentially will drive other opportunities for you in your business. It may not just be for Azure, it may be for other services that you then potentially want to take to the market as well, as part of helping to lift your profile and brand. So journey to the cloud playbook, I mentioned that that's something that will be coming up. We're in the process now of building that up. It is part of a global initiative, so it is going to be a very comprehensive offering. We're expecting that to be made available to those partners that qualify before the end of this year. So we've got obviously a month or so to get that finalized. So feel free to register for the program, obviously as soon as you can, perhaps when you come off this webinar. Get onto the program, and we will then continue to work with you around communicating available information around the playbook, obviously when it's going to be released, and help you to navigate that and obviously get you across the content of that particular playbook. Also, if you do generally deal with the cloud sales team, feel free to reach out to any of them, and they'll be able to help you around any information that you hear from this webinar today. Partner spotlight as well, stories. So we're looking to work with partners to help build your profile. I mentioned we'll be doing case studies and video testimonials. We're really going to sit down with you. We will conduct with a third-party agency an interview that can be done with yourself, talking about your sales engagement on that particular opportunity, identifying the problem that your customer faced and why they engaged you in the first place to help come up with a solution. Build up that story, come up with obviously the solution that you've built around Azure to help fix the customer's problem, and then the value it's helped to bring them together. That's actually something that can be done in a quite short period. The actual interview takes about 30 minutes. It's an individual interview, perhaps with your sales lead or the person that drove that particular deal, and helps us to understand really how that deal occurred, help us to identify kind of the niche or offering that your unique point of difference happens to be, and we can then build that repertoire of case studies, which we can then help you to find more opportunities in either your existing install base or potentially into prospects into a similar segment or market that you want to then take those into. So we're keen to hear any examples that you have, and we go through a qualification process, and we're also keen to get as many of those case studies out to market as we go into 2019 as quickly as we can. So feel free to reach out to us there if you have any cases there that you think will be worth discussing. Okay, prospecting as a service. So this is also a service offering that we'll be offering really more to the top tier or the elite partners. This is part of the global initiative that we have on the offering, and we'll be able to give you access to information about a particular market segment that you want to focus on. We'll give you access to BI analytics, give you information about revenue share, opportunities within that particular market, identifying if there's particular other areas that you may want to go after, solution areas. For example, it could be around backup or other solution areas, and help you to identify how you can be more targeted in campaigns and offerings that you take out to your clients or to your prospects. So again, once you reach that top tier, we're happy to talk to you one-on-one and talk about how we can build that out to you as well, that prospecting opportunity as well. Okay, Lifecycle Services. So this is actually a new offering from Ingram. I mentioned we have a competency center based in India, which now covers the region. As part of that offering, we have the ability to do value-added services to support you, especially if you're new to working on Azure. So that team will work, it is a chargeable service, but I mentioned there are discounts that will apply. And that team will help you around discovery and assessment to help you generate opportunities, again, either for prospects or to your existing customers. They'll help you around architecture and design, so help you around how you're going to build that competency. This is in addition to the services that you may have already used with Deep, who's our solution architect locally based out of Sydney. This is all additional resources that we've just brought on to help you to build up your competencies as well. As part of that, we also have the ability to check if you've gone through that design process with the customer. We can help you around proof of concept. We can help mitigate any challenges that you may have around that design and help to minimize the risk around that project as well. And lastly, if it's required as well, we can help you around the migration services. So if you don't have that capability in-house, we can help you with our center of competency there, our center of excellence, have access to those resources, and we can help you to basically move workloads, which may be, for example, working on competitive platforms like AWS, for example, and how we can move those workloads into Azure. Alternatively, it may be around re-platforming, if you're looking at existing server infrastructure and moving those workloads into the public cloud, in this case, of course, being Azure. So there's a number of areas that we can help you around that, and that team there, they're available now to help you around filling some of those gaps that you may have in your competencies until you build up your own capabilities to help you to start now identifying opportunities within your customers. And the quicker we can do that, of course, the quicker we can hit together that monthly recurring revenue with you to help you to grow your Azure practice, and that's really what we're here to do. So I mentioned about discovery and assessment, so that can get into quite in-depth opportunities. The sweet spot that I've been told by that particular team tends to be around 25 servers, tends to be quite a large workload. Having said that, we know in Australia we do have requests coming through on a regular basis where, for example, there may be 25 VMs. It is kind of like larger customers. Now, we don't all play in that particular part of the market. And there may be opportunities where there may be 5 or even 10 servers. Absolutely, we do want to hear from you on those small opportunities as well. So that this may be a global standard around that larger number, but absolutely we know the opportunity locally in Australia would require there being a smaller number of VMs, and we're actually very keen to work with you around offering this discovery and assessment option, even to those smaller projects. So we can go through around, there's obviously quite a lot of detail here. We have an indication of costs, which is over to the right, $120 per server, but each of these engagements can obviously be tailored based on that particular customer. So very keen to hear from you if you do have examples there where you need that support. Architecture and design, this can go through a number of days. This can get also quite complex, and this team is there to help you. Those prices I've mentioned there, $1,499, obviously per day. Each of these can be discounted, so this is certainly not a fixed price or anything like that. It's based on an engagement basis. And reach out, as I said, to any of the cloud sales team should you need any help around particular cases, and we'll help you around the cost of how that will work and how you can then work with your customer to identify how we can build out those services for you, and also how you can charge those services to your clients based on the value that you're bringing to them. So I won't go into each of those areas. These slides and this recording, of course, can be shared with you at the end of the recording, and the sales team will be more than happy to go through in more detail each of these areas and talk to you about how all this works in a lot more depth. Proof of concept, and obviously that's an important area as well. We absolutely do understand that customers, when they're moving to the cloud, maybe from either existing cloud platforms or infrastructure, absolutely will need to understand if the solution actually works. Give it, obviously test it, make sure it does actually meet their demands around workload, performance. Obviously, make sure it's got the scalability they need in their business as they grow. And the team here, again, have the ability to do that. I know that some of you will already have that competence. Obviously, you've built that out in other areas. But again, if you need that support, we're here to help you around that as well. And lastly, the migration services. We do also work with specialist partners. I mentioned we've got that center in India that have that competency. We also do have other partners as well that absolutely do specialize in this area. So reach out to us anytime. And if you are looking to do migration, so for example, you've got Azure on tokens perhaps, or open licensing, and you'd like to take advantage on the advantage around monthly billing based around the CSP program, we're absolutely happy to help you around those migration services as well, and how we can help you to do that. So again, just reach out to the team as you need to around some of those migration services. Preferential pricing. So we talked about preferential pricing, and we do have exclusive promotions. I've mentioned, we've talked about previously, those of you that are new to Azure may not be aware that for new tenants that you bring on, we will pay up to $300 per new tenant. Also, if that service continues for a month, we will actually pay $1,000. If that subscription service continues over 3 months, then we will pay you a $2,000 rebate as well. So these are all incentives that we offer. Anything you see here under preferential pricing is in addition to those core offerings. So you'll see there we've got exclusive promotions, the $2,000 cashbacks I've already covered, but we do then have the volume discount eligibility I've covered earlier. So for fundamentals, I mentioned once you go past the $5,000 US, you do get the additional 1% volume discount. That increases to 2% when you get to that develop or the $10,000 or more per month. And as you get to the elite or the top tier, that then increases up to 3%. So the discounts here are actually quite compelling. And when you start looking at the margins that you make, the rebates that you get as a silver or gold partner with Microsoft, as well as the additional volume discounts that we're offering here, the actual profitability can get very lucrative very, very quickly. Acceleration skills, competency build. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that we're looking to invest in you. If you invest in your competency in building up your capability around Azure as well. So I mentioned that for certifications, if you're looking to do a certification, once you've absolutely passed the course and you've got that certification, for the fundamentals partners in that 5,000 to 10,000 category, we will pay up to $200 credit towards that certification cost. Again, for develop, it's $300, and in the top tier, we will pay up to $500 for any of your sales or your technically enabled resources that have got those certifications. If you want to learn more how that's going to work, again, just feel free to reach out to the sales team and we'll take you through the detail on the terms and how that works. Elite treatment. So when you move into that elite partner program, I talked about the ability to do things like case studies, video testimonials. We'll give you access to tools like prospecting as a service to help you around being very targeted around your campaigns. You will also get support from the dedicated account team. I mentioned we've now got a team now to help you around those competencies and building up the capabilities in that area, and also help you identify opportunities within your customer bases. You will also get access to discounts to attend our Cloud Summit in North America, which I mentioned in March 2019. So we have rewards and incentives program there. So many great reasons to be as part of the Elite program, and also very keen to get you there as quickly as we can. So those of you may not be aware that 2 weeks ago on the 15th of this month, we actually had a major change to the Ingram Micro Cloud Marketplace. Not so much around where you typically go into the marketplace and spin up new services, but more so around the reseller control panel. That's really where you administer your subscriptions. You may, for example, make changes to users. You may increase users or reduce users on those tenants. This is across our whole portfolio. So it's not just for Azure, it's for Office, Microsoft 365, and some of our other complementary vendor solutions as well that sit on the platform. I just want to make sure that everyone that's on the call is aware that we've made this major change. This is a much more modern and more user-friendly version of the old version. For those of you that are very familiar with using the reseller control panel previously and you prefer the old version, or you may not know where to find things under the new version, we absolutely can allow you to go back in and revert back to the old version still, just by clicking on go back to the old version, no issue at all. However, if you would like to spend some time, we're very pleased to have you onto the new version. Everyone now will have access to that by default. It will help you to pull reports like cost of goods sold reports, help you around consolidation of end user management, help you around your billing information to your clients, being able to look up information. You can absolutely spin up new services also through the reseller control panel. All the functionality that you'd be familiar with previously, all that remains. The only difference is now the user interface is a lot more easy to use, and we're excited by this new launch. So if you haven't been in there recently, please feel free to go in there. Give us feedback on what you think. Hopefully we find that you'll give us good feedback, that you're finding it much easier to navigate